you're a professional?
Are you?
That's it, Clark. Show him who's boss.
Oh, we're all in this together.
Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome back to the Clark Griswold YouTube channel. I am Mr. Clark Griswold. Thank you guys for being here today. I hope you guys had a really great trading Wednesday today. I took a couple trades. I want to go through those with you guys, and then we'll review a couple other ones that happened intraday. Some of my Twitter followers called out some of them. I did as well. So let's get started. One of the plays that we had on the watch list was SPY. I said because of this exhaustion risk, in the watch list, we talked about it. We talked about the bottom of this broadening formation, and then we talked about, let me zoom out here, how we've continuously tagged the bottom of this broadening formation. There's one back up in this corner here, but a lower low, lower low, lower lows, and we were looking for a reversal on exhaustion risk, okay? So we had a 2 down, but at the tagging the bottom of the broadening formation, we were looking for a reversal to the upside, and we got that through first targets, okay? So how did we trade this? This was not a really large trade for me. It was small, but I always talk to you guys about taking those small gains, So I sold twice. I sold half once at 15%, and then I sold the other half at 7%. So let's go here. This is your opening 5-minute bar, second 5-minute bar. And guys, when I trade, I do check on the other time frames just to see where we're at, to see where the time frames are on the smaller charts, to see if we are trending up or we are trending down on the smaller time frames. And that's kind of how I trade. I look off of the day trades, and then I go anywhere from the 1, 3, 5, 15, 30, depending on the trade I'm in, to see kind of where the candlesticks are. So if we look at this 5, we didn't cross on the first 5, we didn't cross on the second 5, then we crossed, okay? We triggered at the 377.94 mark, and we went up on the second bar. Then we had this outside bar. At this point, this is a small enough trade where I don't really have a lot of profit that I'm okay using this as my stop loss, okay? Using this yellow as my stop loss, the trigger as my stop loss. Okay, so we had this outside bar, then an inside bar, which is a 3-1 setup. And I always tell you guys, off of these 3-1s, we usually have really good gains. So if we would have trended down through this trigger, I would have been out of that trade. I wasn't. We trended up a little bit more. I sold in this range right here the first time, okay, when we started trending up. To take profit on this, I was worried about SPY. I didn't think it was going to be moving a whole bunch today. I think it did closer to the end of the day. But I wanted to take my profit while I had it. So this was 15%. And then as soon as I retraced here, okay, so we had this 2 up, then we had another 2 up that finished red, and then we retraced to the downside, this 2 up, 2 down reversal. This is the range where I was out here, and that was in the 7% range that I got out, okay? Somewhere in here. So that was the trade on SPY. And if you would have stayed in it, it would have reversed all the way down on you. And if you didn't sell here, you would have lost. You could have held. And I believe SPY ended up coming way back up. So, I mean, if you held throughout the day, congratulations. Good for you. You made some money. But that's not in my risk tolerance. So I took my 15s and I took my 7s and I was out. Okay, so that was on SPY. The other one I took was AMC. Go to AMC here. Again, we're just going to start on the 5 minute. We already have our triggers in the yellow. This was the first bar, okay? We went up. We hit targets. I didn't take profit here, okay? I let this ride. It came back through. This was not my stop loss. I'll take a little bit of a loss on a trade to try and make something, okay? Now, this isn't a big loss here, but I will take like I said, I'll take a little bit of a loss. My stop loss will be down a little bit lower than this. Okay? And then we came up through that trigger. My first sell was in this range here. I sold half, and then I held on to it for a little bit longer. And right in this range right here is where I got rid of it, okay? Once we triggered through this green target. And I think I even mentioned on Twitter, move your stop losses to the first target. That's what I did. And I was out here. I wasn't in it for very long, okay? So this is what are we looking at? 5, 10, 12-minute trade, okay? On AMC, SPY was... What was SPY? Let's go back to it. SPY was a 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30-minute trade on SPY, okay? What else did we have here? Neo. I believe Neo had a 30 and 30 on. Hashtag 30 and 30. So there's two ways you could have played this one. We either had this 3-1 setup here, which I always tell you guys is very powerful. 1, 2, 3, 4 bars up. And I didn't take this trade, just so you guys are aware. I did call it out though. The other one you could have looked at this as was a 30 and 30, okay? So our day didn't switch to green till right up here. It was a 5-cent difference. But we triggered here and we went up 1, 2, 3, 4 bars. Okay, I didn't put these green lines on here. I don't know if those are the targets or not. Looks like the yellow would have been your first target. And then looks like you got some gap fills here. So that's pretty close to what they should have been. And you just would have moved your stop losses, guys. So as we started climbing, your stop losses move. If there's no reversal here, you're still in this trade. We come through here. This is your first reversal. This is where I would have been out if I was in this trade, would have been right there. The other thing, depending on the percentage, you could, I've talked about this 9 EMA. We didn't close below that 9 EMA, and you could have rode Neo up a little bit higher here. We're still trading. There's still 10 minutes left in the trading day as I go through these. So that was another one. Apple, there was a double setup. I called out a triple inside bar. Someone else called out a 30 and 30. So that 30 and 30, I know where the 15. Let me go see. Again, this is not a trade I took, but I let you guys know. Here is that triple inside bar on Apple. And we broke one. There's our trigger right here. And we broke 1, 2, 3 targets on the way down off of the break of this triple inside bar. And then we did hit another target here, which was our gap fill on the 15, okay? And then if you would have held through this reversal, you would have been out here, but you still would have made some profit on this trade. Now, if we go to the 8:15 marker, and we go back to the 30-minute bar at... There we are. That's why I couldn't find it. this right here. So we had a 2 up, we had an inside bar. So again, those inside bars, I tell you guys about them all the time. This was a 30 and 30 play right here, okay? To the break to the downside, and we hit one target, and then we hit the second target, just like we did on the 15-minute chart, okay? So this would have been a 2-target trade, even a 1-target trade. You should have been in and out of Apple within 30 minutes. And then we had this other inside bar, and you could have taken it back for a ride up to the upside if you wanted. And then there was a reversal to the downside here if you wanted. So Apple was great all day. Neo trended up all day. I was going to say one other thing I noticed on AMC, if we go back real quick, AMC triggered twice. So if we look on AMC here, we had broke through this trigger, came down and back up, then we broke right through, okay, way down here, and then we retraced back up through the upside. You could have played AMC here again and ridden this thing all the way up, and you would have had some really nice gains. So that was the other thing I wanted to point out on AMC. We did trigger a second time here if you were out on the first one. So you would have had a good opportunity for a second gain on AMC. Guys, that's a quick review video I wanted to do. Hopefully it helped you guys out. If it did, give me a thumbs up. Make sure you guys are following me on Twitter at Mr. Clark Griswold. Watch those ads on those videos. Let's keep this stuff free for you guys, and we will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.